What's going on, everybody? This is my favorite day of the week. And so I just want to take this opportunity to say welcome to this week's episode of The Life of the Young Professional. So before we really get into today, I want you to take this opportunity, and this is actually the first time that we're going live on our actual platform page. I'm excited. We're doing great things over here. So take this opportunity to like, comment throughout, and share this broadcast because tonight's a really exciting night. So I just want to say also, take this opportunity, if you have not done so already, join our community by following all of our social media platforms. You can find us on The Life of Young Film Professionals on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. So all of our past episodes are on those platforms, and just continue to be connected with us because there's updates coming and stuff of that nature. And that's where you find out who our guests are. So with all that housekeeping out the way, how are y'all today? I'm just so happy to see all of y'all. This is just like really my favorite day of the week. With that being said, I want to give credit to I want to say thank you to Mr. Jeremy Taylor and my creative director Courtney for being a part and taking over last week. I appreciate you all. But this week, I decided that I wanted to grab someone from the great state of Texas. You may have known him, from his fashionable lapel pins. You may have seen him sing on a choir. You may have just been in his presence of laughter and humility. But today, we're going to shine a light on his journey and all of his accomplishments in regards to the funeral industry. One of the baddest embalmers on this side of Zion. Please welcome Mr. Randall Chambers.
What's up? What's up?
Was that introduction good? I've been practicing it all night.
Oh my goodness. That was perfect. You need to write that down, text it to me so I have it. That was lit.
So I say thank you. I know I told you personally, but I truly say thank you for just being a part of this. And so I just want to just get right into it. I want to get right into it. You are a licensed funeral director and embalmer.
Yes, sir.
But I want to know how you got here. What was your background? Give me a little bit about your background. How did you get interested in funeral service? What was the turning point that you realized you wanted to be a funeral director?
I always tell people it was just an interest that sparked into my calling. So I've been a pianist, music director for 18 years. So here I am now at 16, getting ready to prepare for college and in school and whatnot. And we got to find something to do. So I'm playing a piano at a funeral, and I asked the funeral director, I said, hey, man, what do y'all do? And he said, one day I'll show you. Kid you not. Mother of our church passed away, 100 years old. And he said, come on in and I'll show you. And I was able to help prepare her for the service. And when we got to the funeral, he was like, I want you to direct the service. I said, well, I have no idea what I'm doing. He said, render service, take care of the people. They're your folks. I said, okay. So I just did the very best that I could with what I, watched other funeral directors do at 16 years old. And the rest is history. Went back to school, told my counselor, told my family, I'm going to go to school to be a mortician. And everybody was like, what? Like, I am the only mortician in my entire family on all sides. Like, nobody else does this. So it was like a complete shocker. So ever since then, I mean, my very first job was at a funeral home. I have never worked any other job but being at the funeral home. That's it.
Wow. Isn't it so crazy when you decide to like, this is what I want to do, that everyone's like, really? Like what?
Mhm.
Like it's so wild for people to like be like that. But I love it. I love what we do.
Me too.
And to know this is like that's the only job you've had. That is crazy. My
Yeah.
resume, my resume a little long, but we ain't gonna talk about that. So in your journey, what are some of the difficulties that you have faced while excelling in your journey?
Um, I would just say dealing with personalities, and just the characteristics of other people, and that's employees included. I always chop it up with families, grief, because grief is all different colors, and you
Yeah.
can't take things personal with the family because their entire world just came to an end. Um, but as the Bible says in Colossians, work as unto the Lord. Don't take nothing personal. Just do what you have to do. For real though. When you do what you have to do, you have no other, you shouldn't have any other complaints. Keep your eyes on the prize, which is serve the family and work well with your team. And that's it.
Yeah, man, I tell you, and it's such to be a film director and to be in the midst of families. You can just meet them where they are. It's truly, especially like you with a person like someone like you have a personality like no one cannot like Randall. Like it's just like you have no choice but to like Randall.
Hey,
So I mean, so it's like I'm just saying, families, you're in good hands. I'm just putting it out there.
that part, I'll be the last person to let you down.
I don't know. Whoever created that, they need like all the credit in the world. Between that and the we're last responders.
Yes. Oh my gosh. One of my colleagues, she bought me a hat and a t-shirt that says last responder. Only because I was on a plane a couple weeks ago and I had this shirt. It's an old gift. It's a hearse and it says I can't, I'm on call. And then I wore another one that says I'm an embalmer. So as I'm walking down the plane to get off, the flight attendant says, "Oh my gosh, are you really?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, 10 years." And I just kept on walking and they were just like freaking out.
Like you're not allowed to be an average person. Like just here to fly.
They don't get it.
So speaking of personal life and personal travel, what are some things that you find, like what are some of the things that you do to find the balance between your personal life and your professional life? Because as we all know, the funeral service is a 24/7 business. So I know people we don't all get consumed with their jobs. And so what do you do to be Randall the embalmer versus Randall?
The first thing that I do as the embalmer and myself is to make time. You have to make time. You have to make time to work. You have to plan out your work day, because embalming is not a 10-minute process. Okay, so you have to make sure if you have 5 loved ones that you need to prepare for the week or for the day, you need to make sure that you set aside time to make sure that you follow through with everything being done to take care of them properly. And then as myself, I make time to go travel. I make time to go out to eat, to go bowling and shopping and spending time with my family. I set aside time to do that and I dedicate myself to that time, because if you don't, burnout will come quick, fast, and in a hurry. Just as much as we are, dedicated and called to our particular ministry, our profession, we have to be that same commitment has to lie with yourself. Because if there's no you can't perform. So,
Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. So in your work environment, what do you really prefer? Like, do you prefer the back of the house or do you prefer the front of the house?
it's so unfortunate because I used to love being out front, but now, look, just come knock on the door and I'll peek my head out. I love being in the back. I don't have to be out front, glitz and glam. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm dressed down today, but I come with it when I got to be out front. But I
Yeah.
love being in the back. That's where my passion is. I love taking care
He'll
of them.
pull that big giraffe out if he has to.
See, today I'm Randall as myself. You know, I'm not Randall the embalmer. I'm not Randall the funeral director. Randall the musician. None of that stuff.
He
I
just
get tired of
Randall.
wearing suits sometimes. I have other clothes.
That is so crazy. And I tell people all the time, everybody wants to dress up for work every day until you have to dress up for work every day.
Like, Lord, I gotta put my clothes back into the cleaners. And
We're appreciative, but it's not all that it's cracked up to be. Oh my gosh. So looking at your journey and how long you've been in the industry, if you could go back in time to be like and look at yourself when you first started, what would be a key piece of advice that you would give yourself knowing your entire journey?
Get ready for everything. Get ready for everything. Learn everything. And I mean, shut your mouth and listen. Take notes.
Yeah.
Wake up. Stay awake in class. Learn everything because knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's also, especially in this, you got to be a sponge, you know?
You definitely, because everything that I know, I had to learn from somebody.
Yeah.
And not everything that I learned was from someone in the profession. I learned makeup from professional makeup artists, from, family members who came in, just anybody can teach anybody anything. So just be readily available to, like you said, be a sponge. Just take on as much knowledge as you can so that you continue to be the best that you can be. And then, of course, pass it along to somebody else.
Got to. Yeah. Yeah. Got to. And that's like, and that's kind of like where my disconnect is sometimes, because there are some providers and practitioners out there who want to gatekeep their information, but there's no purpose. We're all here doing the same thing.
Exactly. Because look, when it's your time to get up out of here, and as my grandmama say, leave this world, what we're going to do? What you going to do with all that knowledge? Can't do nothing with it. So
I have yet to sell a casket that has a diary attached to
it. Or a U-Haul hook.
So please share what you know. Okay.
Share.
Share what you know. Share what you know. So people often think they know everything about what we do because they've seen services, they've seen the suits, they see the steps and stuff like that, but they really pay no attention towards the sacrifice we have to make.
Mm-hmm.
When we commit ourselves to service, our lives are no longer ours.
That part.
And even when the general public sees myself or they see Randall, who is a funeral director. They see Raheem of Congo Funeral Home. So they see who we're attached to.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some important things people should keep in mind before they decide to take part in this industry?
You said it a while ago, balance. You have to find balance. And make sure that you are attached to people who understand your calling. Because this is not a joke. This is not a game, like whatsoever. There will be days you're going to have to get up from the dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to miss Christmas. And like I said, those are situations and times where you have to make time. You know what I mean? But yeah, like you said, the sacrifices of just having to, quote unquote, miss out on some things in life to go take care of business, because I mean, that's how you live.
Yeah.
You are literally working for someone else to make a living for your family.
Yeah.
I believe wholeheartedly that we were created to serve in some capacity. But I believe when God created funeral directors, he created the ultimate servants. Okay.
Ultimate.
We do not, sometimes we just don't sleep. We don't sleep. I've gone days without eating and forgot to and didn't feel bad. Like it's crazy.
You
It's
better preach, Randall.
when I say sacrifice, I mean we want your social security number. Just sign your life away. Your
Just sign
first
your life away.
everything. You are literally taking your life as you know it and giving it away to the rest of the world. And that is the ultimate sacrifice. Other than Jesus Christ, that is the ultimate sacrifice.
I'm telling you, if I could write a list on the family functions, even family funerals that I have missed, uh, places I had to leave
Yeah,
because I am dedicated to those who trust me enough to entrust me with their loved one. And so it's something that you really have to like take a good look in the mirror. Like, if you're really going to do this,
be
be
ready.
prepared. Be prepared. What do you say for everything?
Yeah.
For everything.
Listen, I mean, and it's not like that all the time, but it's gonna be some situations where you like, oh shucks, I'm ready. I'm finna go do this weekend, and then boom, you got
Boom,
first calls.
on the way out the door.
What you gonna do? I mean, you can't call somebody for every last one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there will be
Yes.
times where the family you've served the family in the past, and they're like, well, we want you to come personally. What you gonna do
Yes.
then? What you gonna
Yes.
do then? So
Yes.
boy, oh
And
boy.
so another one I'm going to throw at you that it's not, we didn't talk about this, but I'm going to throw this at you. How do you personally navigate? So, like me, I've never been married,
Mhm.
I've never had a child, and I have fortunately haven't lost a parent.
Mhm.
So, how do you navigate in a situation where you can't emotionally attach to? Like I use myself an example. I've never lost a child, so I don't know even a thought of what this mother is feeling after losing her son. I don't know how this daughter is feeling after losing her father. I don't know how this wife is feeling after losing her husband. So, how do you navigate those situations?
I always put myself in their shoes. I don't have kids, but I got 3 beautiful nieces, and them girls mean the entire world to me. I have not lost a parent, but I love my parents.
Mhm.
Um, so I try to find a way to relate to them. I may not ever verbalize it to them
Yeah,
or show it to them because it's not about me anyway.
yeah,
But that's how I prepare myself before I step foot outside of my office to go shake their hand or give them a hug, introduce myself, whatever. Because, like I said, in efforts for me to have a job, their world has to come crashing down.
yeah.
Somebody just left this world, no matter how good or how bad they may be, no matter what they did in their life, somebody loved them. Somebody, they were special to someone. So I don't take what I do lightly. I love to joke, I love to play, I love to laugh, all that good stuff. But life is very, very, very precious, and we have to be very mindful of that. My grandmother, she said, when I first started, she said, my prayer is that you just don't become so desensitized and insensitive to, other people, because you're going to be doing this every day. And I kid you not, here it is just about 10 years later, and I still feel the same way that I felt on my very first day. Very empathetic, very sympathetic, because like I said, somebody's loved one is gone. No matter who they are, no matter what their age is, you just have to be there to support that mother who's burying her 10-year-old child. You have to be there for the spouse who's burying their spouse of 50 some odd years.
Yeah,
No matter what, somebody has lost their world.
yeah. The world has come to an end. Yeah,
Yeah, and it's up to us. The funeral as funeral directors, we have to direct them in the way that they should go.
yeah,
Be there for them.
yeah. Really quickly before I go into your next question,
Mhm.
Mr. Denzel McDonald says, "I hope I can be half as good as you two one day." And I just wanted to touch on that just for a second, if you don't mind, Randall.
Yeah.
Okay. The purpose of this platform, Mr. Denzel, is for people to be inspired, people to be encouraged and uplifted. But it is my hope, it is my prayer that this ignites the fire in you to be better than myself, to be better than Randall. Because in this industry, it is those who are upcoming who are carrying the torch. And so I want you to be encouraged on today to know that our journeys are totally different and you're writing your own story. And so I want you to be encouraged that to be better than us. I love you and I thank you for always, tuning in. But that's my piece of encouragement for you today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, I saw that comment and I was like, I gotta touch on that real quick.
Yeah.
Got to. Because honestly, it's okay to look up to someone.
Absolutely.
It's okay. But you also realize that you're putting in work too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like where my mind went. So you know what? This is right on time. On the topic of mentorship. So who are some of the people that you would not mind giving kudos to for pouring into you to be Randall Chambers, the licensed film director and bomber extraordinaire that you are? Because it's really important, again, to look up to someone, because we don't know all that entails at sometimes. There's always changing. Someone that you can lean on for guidance and instruction. So give me some who inspires you.
We'll start at the top from the very beginning. My mentor, Miss Kiana Carson Jones. She taught me everything that I knew in the very beginning, some stuff that I still do today. Hey, Key, I miss you, girl. Great embalmer. I was there when she took care of her grandmother, and I was able to help with the service and stuff. Just watching her just like sweep her hand over everything was just like, I don't know a lot of people because I'm always in the back. I ain't got to be out front. I ain't got to be, all of that. But I've learned it's good to come out of the woods, and network and stuff. A few of my colleagues and my friends here in the DFW area, Mr. Bora Bradford, Frankie Washington III, Miss Yoshi Wade, Stephen Hill, that's my guy.
That's my guy.
He is.
Shout out to Stephen. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, Stephen. Congrats, man. Andrew Sims, who I work with over there at The Tree of Life.
Is that how you're the Tree of Life?
Oh, that's just me.
Oh, that's just you. Okay. Oh no, we gotta step our game up over here. We might gotta do something, Okay.
But I've been trying to connect with other embalmers across the nation, like a few people that I met at the 40 and Under in Atlanta. And then just seeing some, folks that's been in the game as long as I've been alive, just watching them and trying to stay in contact and just, all of that good stuff. So Myers Mortuary, one of my favorites. Oh my goodness gracious. You guys are great.
Top
tier. The way that they just present themselves, they just got to stand in one line. And I'm just like, that's what I'm talking about right there. Providing
I told Katie when she was on my show, like, you guys are like solid. And I'm not discrediting any other firm, because I know there's some other ones out there that are doing really, really well. I'm not discrediting, but because of their platform and how they advertise themselves, I mean, solid. I mean, them ladies walk off on the same foot. Okay, don't get me started. I can go on. Don't even get me started on that.
Yeah.
And well, you mentioned something that's really important to me. This is to me personally, man. Is networking. It's really important. It's really important because y'all should be enjoying with the rest of your colleagues. Will, I'm working. I'm working. But it's really important to network because even like going to conventions that we're supposed to be at right now, it's really because you sometimes you go to a event and you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're a teacher, I'm a film director, you know. But being in that space, in that environment where iron truly sharpens iron, it's an experience like no other.
Yep.
And it's imperative that we don't look at each other as competition.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Oh my
We have
goodness.
to get out of that.
We absolutely do, because who else can you lean on if you can lean on your friends, your
That's
family? You know what I'm saying? We are in the same profession. We are in the same boat. We need each other, because I can't ask a dentist how to inject an artery.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, I can ask somebody how to do makeup, but I can't ask a school teacher uh 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 you know, I don't want to be too gruesome, but
I'm here with you.
we have to rely on one another.
Yeah,
We absolutely have to rely on one another.
yeah,
That's
and
what we were created for. That's what different professions are for, because doctors can go to doctors. Like I said, teachers can go to teachers. The trash man can talk to the trash man, because I can't tell you one thing about putting anything in a landfill. Okay. But I can sure tell you where you need to go to inject an artery. You know what I'm saying? How to preserve a loved one for a funeral service. But if I don't know something, I should be able to call somebody,
yeah,
and vice versa. Somebody should be able to call
and
me.
not just call someone, but not being threatened that you're seeking knowledge.
Oh Lord have mercy. Like you said, gatekeeping. Because what you gonna do with all that knowledge? I'm not, you are you. And what you share and provide to others is not going to dim your light. Like they say, light another candle. It's not going to dim your light whatsoever.
Exactly.
Exactly. We got to get back to being able to, like I said, rely on each other. And not just, professionally, like on how to's, but just we can connect with each other because we know what it takes to do what we do. The camaraderie, the brotherhood, the sisterhood. We need each other.
Truly, truly. And it's again, I don't know where the dog eat dog world. If you even look at the history of funeral service, like, or even the history of our association, like, it wasn't like it, it come together. We just need to come back together. I just don't know. That's just what I just gotta say. Period.
Oh, look, my mama used to tell us growing up, if y'all can't get along, you can't go play with nobody else. So my brother and my sister, my ace, you know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So you got to be able to rely on your brothers and sisters.
You have to, and that's really important. And so you kind of like took a question. We talked about that without me asking the question. But I also want to like shout you out for being one of the professionals that keep the integrity of funeral service alive.
God bless you, sir.
The fact that I'd rather be in the back. I don't need to be seen. But yet you do one of the most important parts of what we do.
And you can mess up the programs, you can lead the limousine at the shop. But if that body ain't right, the whole funeral is done.
Done.
Home. Let's just go home. Yeah.
And you only got one shot
Mm-hmm.
to do it. You can't redo a funeral.
Listen, I be telling people all the time, preachers, we love y'all, but we're not here to listen to nothing that you say. Fingers, we appreciate y'all for, decorating, the service, all of that kind of stuff. But we are here to see the body, period, the end. If you're viewing at the beginning, we here to see the body. So the rest of us, some of us, we just stopping by, pay our respects, and go back to work or doing whatever it is that we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Sitting through this 3-hour-long service, I'll do it. As long as I get to see the body.
As long as I get to see the body.
See the body. Got to see the loved ones, see how they
If
gonna
no
lay
one
Perlene.
else gets to see, I want to. That's why I'm here.
That is exactly why we're here. That's the first
And
thing my grandmama asked me. How she look?
how she looked.
How
But
she-
and honestly, and I found myself guilty of this, but and as an embalmer, I'm almost certain that you do too. Do you go with your funeral eye like, you know what I mean? Like, no, they should have did, you know. I've done it, and I'm not afraid to tell you I do
I
it.
do it every time. I do it every time, especially when it's somebody that I know. I want to see, what they do to make them look alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do hair to where it pops as if they standing up. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see, did they lay the hair right? Did they position his hands right? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But not in a way of, just critiquing,
Mhm.
but like if it looks good, shoot, I'm
Let
gonna
me
call.
grab onto it.
Hey man, what you do to get that done? Because man, she was laid up there look like she was 40 years younger. Man, I ain't seen Unc look that good since yada yada. And if it was something that needs, some attention, I noticed this and I just want to run this by you. I want to, like I said, we got to be able to help each other.
We have to. And what's so crazy is I went to a service recently, and I knew the firm, but I knew who also prepared.
Mhm.
And I was looking, I'm like, he embalmed the health back into him. When I saw this man last at the hospital, he did not look. He looks better rested than he did while he was breathing. So I
Listen,
I literally left and I called. I said, because some people, you can tell like certain people's work. You know what I mean? I
mhm.
said, I know this is your work because I saw that mascara job. I noticed you. So how did we get here?
Right. Listen, that's the
And
best compliment.
they ran it all down, but like it's amazing.
That's the best compliment that you could give. They look better here than they did before. No shade, but you know what I mean.
You've
That's
done your
the key.
job.
Yeah, that's the key. Leaving a beautiful, lasting memory. I say
Yes.
that to every family. I hope and pray that we have left a beautiful, lasting memory because that's what we're here for. Just
Yeah.
giving them a picture, something to look at. So that way, they're already sad, they're already grieving, they're already upset. They may be irate sometimes. But when they see their loved one and see how wonderful that they look, oh my Lanta. And I've gotten that so many different times, like taking that extra step. I had a family that only brought clothes for mom. That was it. They wasn't gonna see her or nothing. Mother was a beauty queen, I found out. So I went and found a wig. I went and got her some lashes. I found out her
Oh,
favorite color was purple. So I went that extra step, and I kid you not, right when they were getting ready to put her into the mausoleum, the son, he was so upset because the program was wrong. But he said, he said, can I at least see my mama one last time? Baby, they opened their casket and he saw how beautiful his mama looked. He said, my mom hadn't been able to do her hair and makeup for at least 30 years because she's been so sick. You guys went above and beyond. I'm so very happy. Stuff like that goes a long way.
and you know
And
that
listen,
little feeling you feel on the inside
ooh-wee.
when that stuff happens. It's not heartburn, I promise y'all. It's not, but that little feeling
Ooh,
and
that's the
those
whole.
those in the industry, we know that like that feeling. We know that feeling when you have completely satisfied a family. You can sleep better with the half hour of sleep you're going to get.
Listen, and with that half hour, I'm more than willing to come back and do it all over again.
All over again.
It's all about making a difference in
It
somebody's
is
life.
one family at a time.
If I could just help somebody along the way.
I knew you were going to get churchy. I knew you. I felt it.
No, what the Clark sisters say, my living is not in
It's
vain.
not in vain.
Hey,
And we bless God. And we bless God.
I got to bless him at all times.
Hey, because it's in Him that we
And
have our
like,
service.
listen, We didn't get on here for all that now.
Oh, okay, my bad. Let me get back to this. Let me see. Where are we at? Where I done lost my spot. Hold on. I think we talked about that. Oh, okay, great. Where do you see the direction of the funeral industry going in the near future?
I see it going in a positive direction. One thing that I do admire is that our generation has curated a more positive outlook on services. It is an event. So, growing up, grandmama and them, they would get dressed and they would put their best on so they go to their neighbor's funeral and stuff like that. And we've kind of, kept that up, but just updated with the times. And we're able to provide more services and, different additives for our generation. And then, of course, the generations before us, because they ain't never seen, us putting loved one on our shoulders and marching them to, the horse and carriage and all that kind of stuff. But, I see it going in a positive direction. I do wish, I hope, and I pray that we do keep the sacredness, the seriousness, and humility, because it ain't about us. Even though we are on Front Street, they putting the cameras at us because we're doing things they haven't seen or things that they appreciate. But all in all, it's not about us. Stay humble.
One star of the show.
Listen, stay humble. Stay true. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't about us. And I'm going to keep saying it because it's not about us. It's about that family. It's about their loved one. We are here to provide a service. We're to provide excellence. But yeah, I see it going in a great way and I'm excited about it.
I do too. And I think like for me, I think the biggest part about it is that we're all willing to serve.
Mm-hmm.
We're all willing to serve. And that's like the biggest part for me.
Adapt. Because I worked at a firm for a long time where we served every culture, every creed, every color, everything. I mean, I feel like I buried more Vietnamese folks in my entire life than I've ever buried somebody in my own color and culture. But being able to adapt to serve the people, that is major to me. Because it's not just about us or just about the people that you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because everybody gonna die. Everybody gonna die. And one day somebody that don't look like you is gonna knock on your door and you need to be ready to take care of that family. Simply because they chose you. They could have went anywhere. They chose you.
The call to serve. Whoa. That's a word. Write that down. Write that down and you keep that. I'm gonna give that to you. That's a good sermon for whenever you get ready to preach.
I appreciate that.
No problem. So where do you see yourself going? I know you got your license and stuff like that. But in the next 5 years, where do you see yourself in a way of giving back to the industry?
I've always thought about opening a care center.
Okay.
Like a mortuary service.
Yeah.
And servicing, different funeral homes, or maybe going back to my hometown area and providing that particular service. Because it's not a lot of embalmers out here, I've noticed. It's a lot of us, but it ain't really that many. So somebody can teach somebody and share this and that. Because I love embalming. And like I said, if I can share what I know and then learn from somebody else, we can get together, partner up, and continue to build greatness. That's just something that I've thought about. Honestly, I don't know where I'm going to be in the next 5 years, but I hope and pray that I'm still alive and serving the people in some fashion.
If the Lord delays his coming, advance Randall in the industry somehow. So this, and to those who are watching, this is my favorite part. I want you to take a few moments because someone's watching who is needing a bit of encouragement. Someone's watching and they want to know what I should be, what steps I need to take to get inside. Or someone's watching that is saying, I am so sick of this industry, I'm about to give it up. So if you can take a moment, you can take a moment and just encourage someone, because at the end of the day, this platform is truly an encouragement. Sharing journey, sharing everyone's walk, just to see that you can do it too. You may have fallen, you may have failed, but at the end of the day, you still have succeeded. And so that's something that I really wanted you to take some time and just encourage someone. And I'm going to give you the floor because you deserve it.
Well, first of all, believe in yourself. Continue to believe in yourself. You are somebody. Um, and don't take nothing personal. That's something that I've had to teach myself here lately in life, in our profession, in relationships. Don't take anything personally. Just like I mentioned before, when people pass away, their loved ones, they're grieving. There's nothing that we can do about that. And grief shows up in different ways. Remember that as well in life. People have their own lives. They have so much going on, and sometimes it's none of our business. The biggest thing that we can do is just be there for them. But always believe in yourself. It took me a long time to just accept that I am somebody. Like, I'm that guy, and it's okay to be proud of yourself. It's okay to be proud of yourself, especially in the Lord. But be proud of who you are, embrace who you are, because there's nobody on this earth like you. And ain't nobody gonna jump you for being you. So we need you anyway. Um, in this particular profession, you just have to stay humble. You have to stay humble. It is going to open doors that you didn't think that you'd be approaching. It is going to take you far. Continue to do what you know to do. Um, Reach out to your colleagues, your friends, gain knowledge from them, um, because knowledge is power. If you ain't got your license, go to school. I don't care how long it takes. Go to school, because you will feel so much more accomplished, and that is an amazing accomplishment. I went to mortuary school, and I did not take my tests right after I graduated like I should have. It took me about 2 years to pass my embalmer's exam. So I was an embalmer before I was a funeral director. I just got my funeral director's license, I think back in like October, of 2024. And I've been out of school about 10 years. So it's never too late. Don't be so hard on yourself. Everybody's story, everybody's journey is going to be different. And what you go through may help somebody else. Just breathe, relax, enjoy the journey. Life is a journey. I know, as a Christian, I want to go to heaven, but I ain't in a rush to get there. You know what I'm saying? I want to enjoy myself. You know what I mean? So when my life is over with, I can look back and say, I had a good time. I done some good. I done some wrong, but I lived a good life. So all in all, just be good to you. Be confident in what you got going on, because the race is not given to the swift. I know I'm being biblical, and that's just who I am, but it's very true. It's not about how fast you're going, not about how slow you're going, because sometimes you need to go fast. Sometimes you need to get in there, and you know what I mean? Like, just go at it, whatever that may be for you. Sometimes you need to slow down and pay attention. Sometimes you need to slow down and just enjoy what's happening. But it's not given, the race isn't given to the swift nor the strong, but to those who go to the very end. My end for right now was just so happened to be passing my exams, getting out of school. I feel accomplished. I feel like I can do anything now. I'm a licensed embalmer, I'm a licensed funeral director, certified crematory operator, and God knows whatever else I can find to do in this particular profession. Do it. Do the thing, no matter how long it takes, because it's in you. If it wasn't in you, you wouldn't be here right now. So just keep going.
My. I got a little teary eyed over here. Oh, teary eyed. But no, you shared some wonderful words, and um, I'm so honored and grateful that you found it not robbery to be a part of today, gracing the platform with your journey. And I just want to say to you, I said it the other day, but I'm going to say it publicly so you can go back and play it, that you truly are a pillar in this industry.
Oh,
And
thank you.
you are seen, you are appreciated, you are valued, and you are loved by many. I charge you to keep serving because this industry needs people like you. I thank you for your yes. I thank you for
Absolutely.
your sacrifice. And I thank you just for being you. If y'all know Randall, Randall's a great time. He is hilarious. He is a grand time. So, just learn who Randall is.
Yes, we have fun over here. We not just committed to work, okay? We like to play too. Have a
Have
good
a
time.
great time. I and just a real quick, I ran into Randall this year at the 40 and under convention and instantly clicked.
Boom.
Instantly. And his group of close friends, they instantly clicked as well. So I say thank you because you could have said no, you could have passed it up. Even though you don't like to be in the forefront, I said to you, this is time for you to be honored. And I hope and pray that we have done just that.
Yes, absolutely. I really appreciate y'all so much for even asking me to do it.
No
Wonderful,
problem.
wonderful,
No
wonderful.
problem. I was like, yeah, Randall coming on. Yeah.
Listen, my folks have been going crazy about this. So,
Well, I hope they watch it right.
yeah.
And to all of my colleagues who are at the National Funeral Directors and Morticians Association convention, continue to learn. Bring
Yes.
back some good information.
Yes, lover.
Some of us have to be on the battlefield while you guys are off gallivanting at the hotel. So,
Okay.
so I love all of y'all. And just want another housekeeping moment. So, excuse me, we are looking for our next special guest. We're looking for people who want to be a part of this, who want to be highlighted, who want to be their story to be heard. I have received some emails, and I will be responding back to you in the next few days. But I want to hear from you. I wish I knew everyone in this United States who worked in funeral service. I don't, so I need your help. And I'm grateful for those who have reached out to me. My team and I were strategically putting people in place. So continue to follow us, continue to be a part of our journey. We appreciate you. I say this all the time, that my platform cannot be anything without you. And I'm so grateful week in and week out that you guys come. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to Randall. Thank you to all of my guests. Thank you for all of my followers. And we will see you next week right here on the Life of the Young Funeral Professionals. Until we meet again, serve well.